Hello. 8 months ago, I stepped upon some information that for sure has changed my life in a very deep, amazing way. Spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and psychically, it has affected me deeper than any other information or experience. And I want to share that with you. I came upon some information that ancient people that lived before us, some ancient civilizations that we haven't even heard about because the people who have written history have not wanted us to know about these other civilizations. They knew so much more than we know. Their technology, their wisdom, their intelligence was way higher than any of us in the modern world. Even though we think we have evolved to much more superior humanity, yet at some levels it is somehow apparent that we may have devolved because those ancient beings knew some things about the universe and about where we live that for 500 years has been hidden from us. They used to make their pyramids and their monuments without any of our modern technology in the center masses of Earth. And they had a map of the world, which the modern humanity looks at it and says, oh, stupid, because they didn't know anything. They didn't have the technology of our time to know anything. And we see that that map is very different map of the one that we have in this world. Actually, what is the map that we have in this world? We know we live on a blue ball planet. Uh, how do we know that? Because we have heard it since we were children. We have seen the ball globe in our classrooms, and that's all we know. Oh, but wait a minute. Yes, they went to the moon and they took the picture of the Earth. They came back and they showed us that we do live on this ball with all the waters around it. Actually, most of it water. And this ball, for some magical reasons that they said it was gravity, can hold all that water, even though it's moving very fast in space around itself and around the sun, yet none of the water splashes. And we have just accepted that as gravity. And then we have gotten introduced with relativity. Everything is relative, you know. Yes, water normally wouldn't do that, but in this case is relative. It does it because gravity is so strong. And then within that gravity, that strong force that is pulling millions and millions of tons of heavy water to its center, we humans, leaves, animals just move upon the earth so swiftly and nicely, and our balloons go up in the air, and we are not crushed into the center of this very heavy duty force. And then we don't have any experimentations that have done in the modern world to show us that such a thing can actually be repeated all over. Here we go. This is a ball magnet, and we pour water on top of it, and the water just goes and stays around the ball magnet. But maybe it should be in a vacuum. Only that happens in the vacuum, they told us. Yet we don't live on a vacuum on Earth. There's atmosphere around the Earth. So as long as we have air around the waters, the vacuum doesn't apply. So I learned that the ancient people of the world knew that the sun and the moon are actually not that far away. And even more important than all of this is that this earth does not spin, it does not move. It's one solid, incredible mass in the mysterious existence. And it's all flat. And then we learn from those ancient people that the North Pole is in the center of this flat earth, and it's a magnetic pole, and it's completely in direct connection with the North Star, and all the other stars move around this magnetic axis all the way to the North Pole. That's why we see all these celestial stars and formations repeating themselves for thousands of years without any shift, and that we actually don't ever feel that we're living on a spinning ball. Can you just even imagine living on a ball with such a speed, moving around itself? The centrifugal turning of it would be so huge. We would all feel it, and all the waters would be splashed, no matter what relativity says and how they made up a reason like gravity holding it all together. Hmm. Maybe they wanted to replace God or the conscious source of all beingness that is within all of us, intelligent force of creation. Maybe they wanted to deny that and just replace it by relativity, evolution, and gravity, and that we are not that important. Maybe that is exactly what the Matrix is. Whatever we thought Matrix is this strange phenomena that we have to look at the movie Matrix to get it, and it's people hooked up to machines or whatever. What if those machines and people being hooked up to the Matrix is through our psyche? What if we have been plagued with in our deepest psyche, and we don't even really know who we are or where we came from or even where we live? So many people, since I have learned this knowledge and shared it, tell me, so even if it was something else, why should it matter? I have so many more important things to think about. What is this? What difference does it make if it is spinning, not spinning, flat, or not flat? And to me, that is very strange. How could it not matter to me where I live? As a human, as a priestess, as a woman, as a being that has been put on this earth, why in the hell would I not want to know where I actually live? And even if I thought I knew where I live for so many years, if I hear another story, or maybe the whole bunch of facts presented in a very different way, why would I turn my face away from it? Unless I'm really conditioned, unless my psyche is really brainwashed for a very specific agenda. Maybe that means when they say that humans fell from heavens. Maybe that is the reason that we live on Earth in such a chaos in this modern time and since 500 years ago. Real chaos. So many wars, so much control, the life of many in the hands of few, wars after wars after wars, forced vaccinations, chemtrails, industrial complexes, all the way from here to the moon. Oh, I talked about the moon. What if you find out that none of the Apollo trips actually happened? What if they were all set up to take us deeper into this dream that we do live on a piece of little dust turning around itself in the infinite universe, and we're minute and we're nothing? And then we see all these people getting in their suits, going with their shuttles to the moon, as if like it's nothing. And then footage after footage after footage we find in our new consciousness of amazing, wise people of the world that have analyzed all that footage and have found out that they're all made up stories. They're all on a stage. They have been produced in Hollywood. No one ever went to the moon. No one is going to the moon. No one is going to the Mars. No one will get out of the atmosphere of the Earth because it is not possible to get out of the atmosphere of the Earth. First of all, even if we go with our own modern sciences, they say that it would be temperatures of 2000 Fahrenheit. We don't really have anything on Earth that can tolerate that much temperature, and having inside of it live people with computers and everything and survive all of that and then get out of the atmosphere with all the temperature differences and then get into the vacuum of space. Yeah, that's what they said. They said beyond the atmosphere is a vacuum of space. Does that make sense? The vacuum of space? Can vacuum exist at the same time around a gaseous object and not vacuum all the gas off of it? Didn't they tell us the vacuum beyond the atmosphere is connecting, it's the vacuum of space? And it is between everything, and all these other particles just are suspended in the vacuum of space, yet they hold their exact distance with everything else. Okay, so if any shuttles get through the first challenge of the temperature, once they hit, you see, they're coming out of this very fast moving atmosphere. And when they come out of something that's also moving fast, and then all of a sudden they hit a space that has no movement at all in it, no particles in it, no air in it, no atmosphere in it, they're not going to be crushed in that transaction. And then what do they have to swim or fly away from the Earth all the way to the moon? All these many thousands of miles away, and not even be hit by anything out there. Safely sit on the moon, and all of a sudden someone is taking their picture. Already someone is on the moon taking their picture sitting on the moon for the first time. Does it all of this make sense? I started learning about all this, and I want to share this with you. It has shifted my life. Our reality, the matrix that we live in, is a man-made matrix. It's real. The matrix is real. The information that we have about who we are and where we live is a lie. The matrix is broken once we wake up to this highest and the biggest deception. This is a deception beyond imagination. The people who have been hand in hand making this deception, all the way back to Copernicus and even before him, whoever came with a global model of Earth, hand in hand with Darwin and all the modern scientists, including NASA, are in the business of keeping us in the matrix. I invite you to take a look at all the footage I have for you. I've been researching this for the last 8 months. I've been learning it from the pioneers on the field that are bringing this information out again in our time, and it's catching on very, very fast. I learned that the flat earth movement in 1800s was actually very substantial. Many scientists were involved in it, and they had a lot of documents proving it. It was a heavy-duty, awesome conversation that was on the table for humanity, yet the powers that are took that conversation off of the table. They created NASA, they created the modern sciences, so we will never, ever talk about the other models. If this is our Earth, we are entitled to question everything about it, even if the questioning it feels lunatic, even it feels like we have gone back to other times and we have lost our sanity. That's okay. Let's still look at it. Maybe we find something we never knew existed. Maybe it's something is really real that we need to know in order to be different type of humans on Earth right now. If I know that the Earth is not moving for the first time in my entire life, I feel grounded like I have never felt before. I start trusting my eyes with what I see. All the waters of the world, all the lakes, all the oceans are flat. I have seen many, many, many lakes with a complete direct picture of the trees and the clouds for miles and miles and miles going on. Direct picture in the water. If the water by any means was curved, convex or concave, it would reflect whatever is reflected in it in a very different way. It will either make it fat or it will make it narrow, as we have all looked into convex or concave mirrors. When I see that the actual reality is actually reflected in the movies coming out of Hollywood, I wonder if they are involved in the deception, because it seems they know about something we don't know about. They show it in the Games of Thrones that there is an ice wall around the earth. We learned from the ancient times that there is an ice wall around the earth. And then we learned from Richard Byrd, who was the only one that did all the research in Antarctic, that Antarctic is actually the entire ice wall around the flat earth with all the flat horizons and flat waters. We learn that the North Pole is a magnetic pole That's why all of our compasses are flat, pointing into the North Pole. I have a lot of footage for you in the video, under this video, that I really would invite you to take a look at. I have learned so much. I have learned the more I look into this, the facts are becoming undeniable, undebunkable. And the more I look into it, I see that the globe model is a fake model. It's not real. The more I look into the footage of the moon landings, the more fake they look at. They look like. And the more I look into who NASA is, the bigger surprise I have that who is controlling our consciousness in this world, what the true matrix is. Matrix is real, it's right here. If we want to wake up, the information is available. It's up to us to want to wake up and question reality and not to be scared of it. After all, we don't want to remain sheeples. We don't want to be dictated about our history and where we came from. We want to know something that is more real than all of that. So I invite you to look at the beauty of all the footages that I have found for you regarding this material. It took me many, many hours and many, many months to look at a lot of it. It may take you a little while of questioning and research to wake up to the fact, but why not? What do we have to lose? If this is true, which I know it is true now, if we wake up through the biggest deception of humanity about where we live and what our true reality is, we would wake up to all the deceptions and the controlling powers who have set it up for us this way, and we would not give up our rights as humans any longer. We would free ourselves from mental, emotional, and psychic slavery. I thank you, all the pioneers on this path that have helped me to wake up. I have the best of their videos for you listed. Just trust me as a sister, as a mother, as a human on earth, bringing you a message that you may actually need to hear. Thank you.